Okay, we will go to the next one. Dowel bar system design. Okay, there is a panel, there is expansion joint, you need to do the spacing and how you are going to provide the dowel bars, what should be its dia, what should be its spacing, what is the length of each dowel bar. Okay, in the previous videos and previous classes you have seen cross section of the dowel bar. Okay, dowel bar system and how they are inserted in that one. Okay, now in this one if you see in this design type of a problem, you are asked to calculate the dia, the spacing, the length of dowel bars. Length of the dowel bars. These are provided at the expansion joint or transverse joint. Both are same thing. Transverse joint. Okay. Now, generally, what they will give wheel load P in terms of kg, wheel load P in terms of kg. Okay, and L in terms radius of relative stiffness, that is in centimeter. This formula you know no? So, in the third module, second module, length of radius relative stiffness, it is calculated. H generally thickness of the slab. Okay, now delta is the joint width, generally it is given as centimeters. Okay, now like this they will be given. Apart from this, these three other data they should give, otherwise you should remember the things. Fs, permissible shear stress in a dowel bar. Okay, the allowable shear stress 1000 kg per centimeter square, that is we generally call it as Fs. Okay, shear. S stands for shear. Okay, F stands for stress. Similarly Ff, permissible flexural, so that is why flexural means again one more small f will come, otherwise we generally call it as bending. Okay, flexure or bending both are same thing, the words are interchangeable. So the permissible flexural or bending stress in dowel bar is 1400 kg per centimeter square. They generally give this data. Okay, FB, permissible bearing stress. Permissible bearing stress in dowel bar. Generally bearing means 100 kg per centimeter square they will give. These three values they should give. One is shear, flexure, okay, and last one is bending. Okay. Steps how should go. First one, assume the dia of the bar. You remember these steps. Huh? Next I am going to solve the problem. There these things will repeat. Assume the dia of the bar. Assume the dia of the bar, small d, let it be 2.53. Okay, like that. Assume, you should assume that one in terms of centimeters. Second step is to calculate the development length LD of one bar. Okay, development length means the length which is excluding the joint. Okay, excluding the joint, just a dowel bar length. Okay, there are two lengths, one is total length, another is development length. Development length plus joint gap is equal to total length. Okay, total length is equal to L is equal to this LD, okay, plus that joint gap, okay, like that. So this will be calculated using this will be calculated using trial and error method. Okay, so there are two, there is one big equation, see here, this is already derived equation. In this also there is LD, LHS is also having LD, in RHS also is having LD. Okay, so LD in RHS equation is assumed, means what, in the first step or you are calculating, this is the step, no? So in that first you assume LD here 40, 45 centimeter, 42 centimeter, like that you are assuming. Okay, and these two values are given, yes or no? Okay, FF is given, FB is given in the question. Okay, delta is also given. Okay, now D is assumed dia in the first step. So by assuming LD alone, you solve this equation, you solve this one. Okay, this will be equal to one value, let us say it is 40, something like that it will come. By assuming this LD, you will get this LD, yes or no? If you put some values here, all this substitution will give one single value, no? So LD equal to something like that. So you should revise the calculation. So first you put LD equal to some 45, So after solving this, this LD should also be equal to 45. Otherwise, you change that one. You change that one. Okay, like that. LD in RHS equation is assumed and LD in LHS of the equation is calculated. Means here it is assumed and it is calculated. That means LD in LHS is calculated. And revise for next trial. Revise for next trial. If both are equal, by putting LD as 40 and after solving this also, if you are getting 40 only, then that is a final. Until both LD in RHS and LHS are same. When you solve the problem, you'll understand. Okay. Now, first step is assuming the dia of the dowel bar. Second step is development length calculation. Okay, in this one, length of the dowel bar, that is total length, no, in the previous one what we have seen, no, where is that? Here, this total length equal to LD plus delta, no, same thing, it is there. Total length of dowel bar equal to development length plus joint gap, so LD plus delta is equal to L. That is the one step. Now in the third step, you need to find the load transfer capacity of one single bar. Load transfer capacity of one single dowel bar. Okay, how to calculate this one? So let it be P dash. Okay, load transfer capacity is P dash. P dash is the minimum of following three cases: 1, 2, 3. So P dash is calculated for shear using this formula. P dash is calculated for bending or flexure using this formula. P dash is calculated for bearing in concrete using this formula. So among the three, which is the least, that least P dash is your load transfer capacity. Of single dowel bar, of one dowel bar. Now what is this Fs? Fs is a permissible shear stress of dowel bar. You have heard, no? Where is that? Fs, Ff, Fb. So these are replaced here. Fs, Ff, Fb. What is this d, small d, wherever it is coming? It is the assumed dia. In the first step. Here it is an assumed dia. What is this LD? This is the development length in the previous step calculation. There will be some values. You should take the minimum of this. Minimum of among three you are going to calculate. That is your load transfer capacity of single dowel bar. Now there is one factor. What is that factor? Load capacity factor. Okay, required load capacity factor. This factor word is very important. Very important. Okay, factor. You call them as a factor. It is not a capacity. It is a capacity factor. Okay, required load capacity factor. Now see this bottom formula. What is this? Required load capacity factor for group. Required load capacity factor for dowel group is equal to load capacity of group, load transfer capacity of one bar. What is this? Load capacity of a group divided by load transfer capacity of one bar. Now what is this load capacity of group? Load capacity of the group is generally taken as the 40% of P. Load capacity of group is taken as 40% of P. P is what? Design wheel load. It is called as design wheel load. So that 40% is nothing but load capacity of group. Now what is this load transfer capacity of one bar? If you go to the previous step, that is the load transfer capacity of one bar. So load transfer capacity of one bar, that is P dash is minimum of this, is used in the denominator here. Load transfer capacity of one bar. Here you are going to do, and here load capacity of the group is nothing but 40% of P, that is this step, and this divided by is, you will give required load capacity factor. For dowel group, total group itself. Okay, that is the step number 4. Now in the last in this step you are calculating what? actual load capacity factor. Okay, this is what previous step. Required load capacity factor is formula is this. Now you are calculating actual load capacity factor. Okay, now actual should always be more than this required. Okay, you remember, actual load capacity factor should always be more than this required. Okay, that is very, very important. Now actual load capacity factor is given by this formula. Load capacity factor is given by this formula, 1 plus x minus x divided by x, x minus 2s divided by x, plus x minus 3 times of s divided by x. So similarly it is goes on. So 1 is the number. What is this s? In every there it is there, yes, 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 like that. What is this s? Here s, 2s, 3s, 4s. So that s is assumed spacing of dowel bar. Assumed spacing of the dowel bar. Okay, in this step you are going to assume. What is this x? So everywhere it is there, no, x, 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 x. So x is effective distance up to which there is a load transfer. There is a one distance. Okay, effective distance up to which there is a load transfer. How to calculate this? This is nothing but 1.8 times L. So L is what? Length of relative stiffness. Radius of length of relative stiffness, that is there, no, generally given in the question. Okay, so 1.8 times of L is generally, we call them as X, and that is substituted here. Okay, X, X. So everywhere you can write it now, 1.8 L, 1.8 L, 1.8 L, like that. Okay, so this will be your actual load capacity factor. Actual load capacity factor. You should always understand check actual load capacity is greater than required load capacity. Actual should always be more than required. Then it is okay. If this is achieved, then it is okay. Otherwise, what you should do? Decrease the spacing. Decrease the spacing, yes, or increase the dia of dowel bar. Increase the dia of dowel bar, and again you repeat step number 5 and 6. Okay, now what you have done, you are decreasing the spacing here. You are decreasing the spacing such that this will be increased, such that this actual load capacity factor will be increased. Or else you can go for the first step. What is that? Increase the dia. Increase the dia of the bar. So you generally go for decreasing the spacing. Okay, decreasing the spacing. Again you are checking 5 and 6, and you are calculating what? Actual load capacity factor, and actual load capacity factor is should be more than required one. Is should be more than required one. Then it is okay. Then it is okay. Okay.